Welcome back, Bisons. At late into the night, as I was editing the Edmund Fitzgerald video, I looked under my email and read an article from a local journalist who said that there was going to be a book sale of local authors. And I got super excited because I was like, that sounds like so much fun. I love supporting local artists. This is going to be great. So I ended up buying a ton of books from this. And I just wanted to share with you guys what books I got and what they're going to be about. I think I'll definitely probably do a video where it's, only reading local authors for a week or something like that. But I love the idea of looking into more smaller authors instead of just reading some of the slop that's in the top 100. I think we can find some golden stories here, hopefully. For the first book that I want to talk about is The Cat Burglar. And yes, you see that autographed copy because every single book I got, the authors did sign the books, which I thought was really cool. It's also just really cool to actually talk to the author of a book. But this is the premise, okay? This is what the back of the book says. When broke but bold, social media influencer at cat_cares stumbles upon a luxurious wallet on a secluded beach, she sees it as her golden ticket until it leads her straight into the chaotic life of Layla Malik, a high-powered lawyer with a knack for keeping secrets. Layla's trip to Los Angeles with her charming client George Santos, was supposed to be discreet. Losing her wallet wasn't part of the plan. As Kat struggles to offload the loot and get paid, Layla scrambles to cover her tracks and keeps her secrets from her husband and Gabriel. The only way to stop the madness? Track down Kat. Between stolen identities, escalating lies, and a few inconvenient sparks with Gabriel, Layla's perfectly polished world begins to crack. In this laugh-out-loud tale of love, lies, and the ridiculous ways we stumble into connection, one thing is clear. Sometimes to find yourself, you have to lose a little control. And maybe your wallet too. Which I just realized I forgot to mention the author, Tanima Kazi. The author explained this book as just kind of like a fun take on a heist book. And honestly, I feel like I haven't ever read a heist book. I've definitely watched movies, and ever since the heist at the Louvre, I've kind of been craving some large criminal mastermind plots. I know this one's not quite as grand scale, per se, but I think it might fill a void that I have. The next book that I got was IRL by E.A. Field. This author had two books on the table, and she pointed and she was like, Zombie Apocalypse, something else. I can't remember. Because I stopped listening after I heard Zombie Apocalypse. But I just thought it was funny that was her elevator pitch for the books, was just, here's the sense of existential doom that happens in this book. So here is what we have. Oh, and also when I said local authors, I meant local authors to me. So that is the Chicago and Chicagoland area. It's kind of the area I'm talking about. So the back of IRL says, something is wrong in Bunker, Illinois. Nora Grace Moon thought her toughest challenge this semester would be managing her OCD. But when her deceased roommate turns up as a reanimated corpse, her world starts to collapse. When her uncle sends her a cryptic message, Nora realizes it must be a call for help. She reaches out to fellow gamer Wesley for advice, a U.S. Marshal with real-life skills for tactical survival, not just in-game. They venture out into a world that is growing more and more deadly by the moment. Not only are the undead spreading, but other humans are taking advantage of the societal breakdown. And unknown to Nora and Wesley, they have been targeted by an ancient archaeological society who will stop at nothing until they have what Nora has, an artifact that will unleash a new world order of the undead. It is a paranormal thriller about leaving the online world and dealing with things in real life. I don't think I've ever read a true zombie apocalypse book, and I'm kind of feeling like zombies are going to have a comeback soon. Of course, The Last of Us, the TV show, is still, bringing up zombies and stuff. We haven't really had a zombie wave in a while, so I'm excited for that. Next, we have Game of Revenge by Stephanie C. This is book 1 of the Game series. For a lot of the books, I bought the whole series just so that I could read all of it right away. But this series, I believe the author said that you could read it disconnected. Like there's the same characters, like same world kind of vibes, but you could read them disjointed, I believe is what she said. I really like this cover. I thought it was pretty. I think this book is dark romance. I don't remember. The book fair was kind of set up by categories. It was also kind of loose at the same time. So, first we have Amelia. Amelia always felt stuck in her life, at the mercy of her stepfather and the lavish lifestyle she cared nothing about. Until one night, she's taken hostage. With no notion of why, she bides her time and plans her escape. Just when she makes her break, the mysterious man she thought was her savior turns out to be the bad-tempered villain. But as time passes, Amelia starts to see her captor in a new light. With every look, every touch, he broke down her defenses and got dangerously close to her heart. Alejandro. The rules were simple: negotiate her ransom, keep her safe. Little did he know the brown-eyed, strong-willed woman he was harboring would be his undoing. It was a mistake to let her in. She wasn't his to keep. But when danger ensues, Alejandro will stop at nothing to protect her. As secrets and lies are revealed, Alejandro and Amelia must decide exactly how far they are willing to go, because one wrong move in this game of life could cost them everything. There was like an upstairs that was all romance books. This is where this one was located. And the vibes were so much fun up there. There was such a range of different types of authors in the romance category. And it was really fun seeing everyone so excited about what direction they chose with their books. And so I really liked that aspect of the book fair. That was really cool. Okay, the next is some romantasy picks. Yeah, so sorry. First book was Rom-Com Heist. Second book was Zombie Apocalypse. Third book, I think Dark Romance. Now we are on the romantasy section. So I got book 1 and 2, and it is called A Feint of Onyx and Ivory by Ojunia Brown. It's the Obsidian Blade series. I think she said there's going to be a third book that's coming out. It was kind of, the reason I'm saying I think is because I talked to a lot of authors and it felt like everyone had their first 2 books out and were working on the third. So I can't remember what ones are completed 2 series and what ones are trilogies. I think this one for sure has a third book in the works. She also told me not to read the back of the second book as there are spoilers. So I'm going to ignore that, but it is called A Fate of Flames and Fury. Oh, I just looked at the back. Okay, I didn't read anything. I looked at it for some reason. Here's what the back of the book says. When 24-year-old Amira must provide for her family, she finds herself making a bargain with a clever witch that could possibly alter her life forever. In her pursuit to return home, she crosses paths with the savior, a powerful fairy. That transports her to an alternate realm she never knew existed. In a quest entwined with dark magic and immortality, Amira begins to question everything she has ever known. She'll need to remain the fighter she has always been while piercing together the truths that are hidden in the shadows of Solaris if she wants to survive. With each day that passes, she finds herself more attached to her new surroundings, including the white-winged fae that unexpectedly entered her life. Will she become a permanent part of his lavish world or return to a life of poverty in the mortal realm to reunite with her family? Amira's decision won't be easy, deciphering between lust and fate. I honestly picked up this series because the author's energy was really contagious. I loved seeing how excited she was about her books. And I get really hyped up when other people are hyped up, so I'm excited to see. Also, almost every author's stand had free stickers and bookmarks and candy, which I thought was really sweet. I did feel bad about grabbing stickers. I know they were free, but like, I don't know. I get nervous to actually grab one, but some authors were like, no, you have to take one. And I was like, okay, I'll take one. But that was fun. So this one I know is a completed duology. And this is The Legacy of the Night by McKenzie Burns. This author had quite a few books, but she said this one is more of a new adult fantasy, I do believe. And then the second book is pretty thick, is Rise of the Dragon. Just saying, all these books are signed. Pretty cool, pretty cool. The back of Legacy of the Night, one orphan, one shapeshifter, one chance to save their country. Mikhail Chernikov wants nothing more than to forget the past and his life on the streets. After returning from university in a foreign land, he hopes to use his newfound education to obtain a respectable job and a life of luxury. Instead, he ends up joining a secret band of assassins called the Order of Tugarin. Tatiana Malyanovskaya wants nothing more than to trade her lavish lifestyle in the palace for one of adventure. It's not as though proper ladies should have claws randomly sprouting from their fingers anyhow, so when approached with the promise of a new partner, Tatiana happily returns to her duties in the Order of Tugarin. When Tatiana and Mikhail are paired together to take on the worst of Ravinia, they end up coming across a criminal plot organized by their country's greatest enemy. Determined to find the cause of the threat before it's too late, they need to figure out how to get past their differences and work together. If they cannot, their country will fall to its doom. Oh, sorry for the switch in light. I'm trying to beat the sun. We're past daylight savings time, so the sun now sets at 4:30 p.m. It is 4 p.m., so I'm trying to rush here. But I like that the female lead in this book is the shapeshifter. I'm excited for that. It is just this, I don't know, I'm hoping that this is one of those books where you get excited because they're so thick because you don't want them to end. Especially this one just feels so thick. I wish I knew where these authors were from. They said they were all local, but I felt kind of weird to ask them, just be like, oh yeah, hey, where do you live? You know, that didn't feel like something I should do. Okay, the author's note here just says author from Chicago. Let me see if the previous book says. Okay, for Eugenia, it also just says raised in the suburbs of Chicago, which the suburbs, Chicagoland, is a vast, vast place. Okay, the next genre is love-inspired thrillers. These ones we actually found at a craft fair that we went to earlier in the day, and in my head I was like, she should be at the book fair we're going to later. But still worked out. This author had 2 books for sale, and we ended up getting both because I liked one more than the other, and then Sam liked the opposite more than the other. So we just got both. The first one is Murder in the Appalachians by Susan Furlong. This one is after unearthing secrets from her late brother's police notebook, journalist Emma Hayes discovers his death was no accident. He was murdered. Only someone doesn't want Emma to find out the connection to the cold case her brother was investigating. And they'd kill to keep it that way. Now Emma must rely on the local ER doctor, Logan Greer, to help her stay alive and follow a trail of elusive evidence. But as they unravel a conspiracy, they realize that the killer could be anyone hiding in the mountains. I do love Appalachia. It is a terrifying place. Those old mountains carry a lot of history. So I think this setting will be fun for this one. The next up from the same author is The Lethal Wilderness Trap. Now, for this one, hunting a never-caught serial killer, Special Agent Nolan Shea learns of a new victim, but the body on Ava Burke's land puts her and her younger daughter, Rose, in someone's lethal sights. With a trail of shocking clues pointing to her family's involvement, Ava starts to question everything she holds dear and is soon desperate to uncover the truth about Nolan. Step after step, they confront their fears, but will finally cornering a murderer out in the wilderness become a trap they can't escape. So the author said that this was based in the UP, which, hello, just did a whole video surrounding the coastline of the UP on Lake Superior. So I was like, of course I'm going to read a book based in the UP. But I told her about how I had just made a YouTube video on Edmund Fitzgerald, and she was like, hey, what's your YouTube channel? So Susan Furlong is now a bison. So I just want to say hi, welcome, thank you to the channel. I do plan on reading probably both books, even though the UP one is the one that stuck out more to me. But yeah, I do want to make a video later that is reading only local authors for a week. I think that would be fun. And then last up is another rom-com, but it is a holiday rom-com. We have OMG Christmas Tree by Stephanie J. Scott. I got pretty excited about this because I also want to do a video that is just reading Christmas rom-coms to get in the holiday spirit in December. So I was like, perfect, already got a book for that. As city girl Megan leaves Chicago behind for the holidays, some of us will also be doing that. Her mom and new stepfather task her with picking up a Christmas tree from their tiny town's local tree lot. Nick, local townie and mayor's son, has one job: secure the Christmas tree for the mayor's charity event Christmas Eve. Only, it's 3 days before Christmas Eve, and Nick maybe sort of forgot to get the tree set aside for him. Meanwhile, Megan chooses the best and biggest tree in the lot that'll impress her family and make up for not visiting sooner. Turns out, it's the very same tree, meant for the mayor's event. Nick and Megan instantly clash, but Nick's pretty sure he can convince Megan to hand over the tree. Megan's not having it, but finds herself sympathetic to Nick's circumstances. Now each of them are wound up in each other's family shenanigans, falling for each other. Just your classic city girl, hometown boy holiday story. So I think this should be fun. But yeah, that's everything for the book haul. I will link the authors down below if I can find their author pages. If they've got websites up, I'll link those. Keep an eye out in your community, see if you have any book fairs like this, because this was super exciting. I really enjoyed this. I now feel like I can't go to the library because I need to sit down and just finish all of the books that I have because it's accumulating. I need to focus. Bisons, feel free to comment down below what book you are most excited to hear about. Did any of them interest you? Are you local to me? Do you need to borrow a copy? Something to think about. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you again in the next one.